All right, welcome back to the Ronin Flinn podcast. I'm with my co-host,
Jack, John, Robert, Logan, Raiz.
our special guest.
Julian Lorenzo.
All right, now, Grammy nominations came out last week. Julian, how interested are you in the Grammys on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd give it a 6. It's fun to watch. I'm not a fan of most of the new artists out nowadays, but it's interesting. You get to learn some stories about people, and it's nice to see people win.
Who would you like to see win?
I want Kanye for Album of the Year. Donda, he deserves it.
I think definitely so. We have more, a lot of interesting nominations. Like I said previously, I think that, Playboi Carti was robbed from any nomination. Same with Kid Cudi, JPEG Mafia. I think Willow should have gotten some nominations. But at the same time, there's some people I really like in here, and I'd like to see them, actually be rewarded for their efforts. Yes. Jack, anything to add?
Yeah, I agree. I don't really know what goes into consideration with these, especially these rap nominations, like Best Rap Performance and Best Rap Song. I mean, they chose Jail by Kanye West and Jay-Z and all of Donda, it's not even a top 5 song. I feel like they probably just chose it because it's Kanye and Jay-Z, but I don't know who really listens to these songs and oh yeah, this is the best rap song. I don't know. It's crazy to me.
I think over time it's just become politics, and it's the point of what sounds good and what will look the best. And it's not really about the true efforts of the artists and if they actually do have the best rap song or the best rap performance.
Yeah, that's what I was saying last time with the artist Her. I think she's extremely talented or whatever, but it's she is just like very well rounded. It's not like she has one super good thing that she's really good at, or brings something extremely new to music in her genre. And I think that's why she just gets so nominations. It's just because she's not basic per se, but she's just she's good enough where she mixes alternative and the pop style enough where she will get those nominations constantly.
This is all the Spotify I listen to.
Also, Spotify Rap came out yesterday. Jack does not use Spotify. He uses Muser because he's poor.
Yes, I am poor. I also do enjoy the leaks that I can listen to on there, but yeah, I'm pretty poor. And according to Spotify Rap, my top song of the year was Rich MF featuring Polo G and Lil Durk, and I listened to it a very whopping 4 times.
That's a lot.
I know.
Julian, what do you got for your raps? Go through some of them.
Well, my top song listened to this year was Bound To by Kanye West. I listened to it to a total of 166 times, which I thought was pretty interesting. And also my top 5 songs, none of them are new songs. They're all old songs. Riptide, I think it's a classic. That came in at number 4. Number 1 was Bound To. Second was Donna by Lumineers. 3 was Champion by Kanye West. Riptide came in 4th with Vance Joy. And 5th was Saturday Sun by Vance Joy as well.
Interesting. Do you know how many minutes you had total on your... I'll look at mine too. Let me just say.
It came out to around 33,000, which I actually thought was kind of low. I don't know if it tracked all of them. I kind of connected to a Sonos speaker I have. So I don't know how that worked out, but yeah.
I myself had, I think it was a total of 82,000 minutes. My top artists were Mac Miller, Tyler Creator, Kanye West, and Playboi Carti. Oh wait, and never mind. Mac Miller, Tyler Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, Kanye West, and Playboi Carti. My top songs were E. Coli by The Alchemist featuring Earl Sweatshirt, 305 by Childish Gambino, The Spins by Mac Miller, Devastated by Joey Badass, and Small Worlds by Mac Miller. Yes.
Do you have your top genre? I'd be interested to see what that was.
These are my top genres. I had alternative hip-hop, indie rock, punk, underground hip-hop, and classic rock.
I had Stomp and Holler, whatever that means.
So basically, my top artist was Drake.
With Jack's 400 minutes.
400 minutes. My top artist was Drake, Kanye West, Polo G, Trippie Redd, and then J. Cole. So if we were to actually look at my playlist on Musi, which is about 2 days long, I think, maybe 3 days now, I would say that, obviously I have a lot of Kanye, but the other four, I have none. Literally none. Like, I don't think I have a single Trippie Redd song. Maybe like 2. I have some J. Cole, I have some Drake, but like Polo G and Trippie Redd, they are not on my album, on my playlist. So I'm very upset with myself that I only listened to 400 minutes, but at the same time, I'm really not trying to go through ads like every other song. And I'm broke, so yeah.
Yeah, I was very surprised by having Kanye West in my top 5. I didn't really start like binging his music until Donda came out, I think. And something I'm very proud of, I was in the top 0.1% of Mac Miller listeners, which is probably better than Nate Babcock, you think?
I haven't seen anyone come in 0.1. Actually, I might. Yeah, no. I've seen. I'm actually in 0.05 for Kanye West, which I thought was pretty interesting. And he gets a lot of hate, but he's on everyone's top 5 more often than not, which I think is pretty interesting.
Definitely. He just has such a large body of work, and you could just go anywhere and find anything that you're interested in.
I have something interesting for you guys. How do you guys feel about the Travis Scott concert? I'd like to hear your opinions on that.
Well, personally, I think there was it's a lot of the event organizer's fault, definitely. I think you can't put it all on Travis Scott himself, because like at first I was like thinking completely, oh, this is not his fault, even to the closest. But like then you hear about just like, and you see the videos of people like passing out in front of him, and he's just continuing to perform, and he's like, Travis Scott likes to incite rage in his crowd and his performances. He's been doing it forever. But then again, like there was something like over 10,000 people broke in to the concert, and like, when you just have all those people, you're creating a crowd crush, and like people are like suffocating standing up, and it's terrifying to think about. And like, I think we just got to give Travis Scott and his team the chance to really make a case for themselves, give themselves like, let them give themselves a chance to explain their side of the story. What do you think, Julian?
I agree with what you're saying. I think it's honestly everyone's fault. Travis is at fault for letting it happen. Of course, there's certain video angles that he sees what's going on in the crowd and he continues. I don't know if that's just the hype about it going on. There's a concert he holds every year. Like, anticipation, the excitement for it is insane. It's in Houston, hometown. I think it's also interesting the fact that how many people broke in that didn't have tickets. You can't put that on Travis. That's not his fault. That's the event organization. They have to do a better job. I think it's interesting to see how his legacy will continue with this. I think most will look past it because just of how influential he is, how much he's done for the community of rap, Houston.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting to see how he goes about this, and when his next concert will be. I think he will have more in the future.
Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with both what you guys are saying. I feel like my initial reaction, just from like hearing the news, like the first few days, the first like 24 hours, I thought Travis Scott was like at fault. I thought like he was like not ignoring, but he was just like pretending like it didn't happen. Like, you saw the videos of the ambulances going through the crowd. You saw like the video of the girl screaming like on the stage. Like, you saw all these like different like horrifying videos, and then you kept hearing news like the days after about like he did stop for a brief moment or something, like they were like all the way in the back. But like the one thing to me that I just was like couldn't even believe was that like the 9-year-old that died and like the 13-year-old, something like that was just crazy to me. Like, I know a lot of people like immediate reactions like, why would you bring them to that concert? I feel like that's understandable to have that feelings, but at the same time, like what you guys said, like thousands of people stormed in without tickets. Like, it wasn't expected to be like that. And I mean, if I'm being honest, like when you make yourself like brand yourself on like kids games like a Fortnite, and you have a concert like that, you're gonna draw like crowds from like 9, 10, 11-year-old kids that play those games. Like, so I feel like I understand like why would you bring a kid to a Travis Scott concert like that's that young, but at the same time, like, if you're advertising yourself to those kids, having the McDonald's meals, having the Fortnite thing, like,
What do you
I feel like you expect to have them at your concerts. Like, you're playing your music for them, you're advertising yourself to them, why would they not listen to you then? Like, that's like, I feel like you have to be cognizant of the fact that you're advertising yourself to younger kids. So maybe 5 years ago your concerts were like big ragers, but maybe now you kind of reel it in, you're getting a little older, you have a kid now, you want to be like influential to your kid, like just things like that I feel like just weren't really thought about.
Yeah, I think something that people haven't been discussing a lot is like just the attitude and like the behavior of the crowd. It was so just like, it was so upsetting to see, because like I know, like, you know, you need to be mindful of your surroundings, I think, in that scenario when you're in a mosh pit or when you're at a concert or when you're right in front of the stage. And like, just people weren't, they chose just to not be, you know. They had golf carts like as ambulances coming in and taking people out, and then the ambulances could not get out because people were blocking it and jumping on the ambulances. And it's like, it's embarrassing to see, and this is gonna really hit Travis hard. He's got a bunch of lawsuits coming at him. He released 2 songs for his album that day, and like obviously now his album's gonna be delayed, and he's gonna be losing money. He's gonna be losing brand deals. But
Nike has pushed back their shoes that was supposed to drop already. They pushed that back, said to tragedies they're not releasing them at the moment. So we'll see what happens with that.
yeah, and I just hope that when there's like an actual case presented up or something, that we, you know, people will know that everyone will get their fair share of punishment and understanding. Anything else, everyone?
No, I agree with everything you said.
No, I do too. What was I gonna say? I thought I was gonna say something, but no, I agree with what you guys are saying. What do you guys think about Kanye West with him, like with what he said about Kim and him getting back together, like through God, and like now that she has a new boyfriend, Pete Davidson? I don't know if you know about that, and I feel like, I don't know. My initial thought was like, right after the divorce or whatever, he was like rumored to have a girlfriend. I think he even like claimed to have a girlfriend or whatever. I feel like it's not only disrespectful to her, but like Pete Davidson, like I don't know. I found it was just like offsetting a little bit. And then like I was just going through a lot with like Virgil Lowe passing away, all that stuff like going on. But I don't know. I was like, it was just weird to me.
It is extremely surprising, and like Kanye needs a lot of help. We all know this, but like.
I think Virgil's bad.
Yes, yeah, but I feel as though, I don't know. Part of me thinks that the whole Kim Kardashian Pete Davidson thing is almost like
Yeah, that's what
What's the word? Publicity?
Just to draw away from Travis and.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. It's like you just get 2 big figures in Hollywood, and even controversial figures, I might say, and like you just put them together, because like it I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me. But like, also, do we still in the year 2020 care about celebrities' relationships that much?
I think what was interesting was, I don't know if you guys saw the Drink Champs interview with Kanye where he first like originally said that. And I think the way he went about it was actually pretty wholesome and pure. I don't know what he's been through. I don't know what Kim's been through, but the fact that how he wants to bring his family back together, and he's starting by getting other families back together, like working through that, trying to help people, and hopefully that would lend him to be able to realize or figure out how to do it. He's like, listen, if me and Kim don't work out, I'm going to get a house right next to my kids. I want to spend as much time as possible with them, which I think is pretty nice. So.
Mm-hmm. What, you said you watched the Drink Champs interview. What else did you, like, take from that? What was, like, your highlight from that?
I think just of who Kanye is now, I think he's more of a relaxed person. He was talking about how he's kind of living the nomad lifestyle, just going everywhere and anywhere with a backpack, even if that. And he kind of called that like his home, which I thought was pretty interesting. I think just whole like his perspective now, you can see that he's aging. That I think if anything, it sounds weird to say, but he's kind of going back to his old roots of being a little more humble before he became like the new Kanye and he's the best. I think he still knows that, but I think just a part of maturing and realizing, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like, when I first started noticing Kanye in the public eye, like, he was saying all this crazy stuff about, like, how he's God and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I remember hearing in, like, gym class, someone's like, Kanye's going to make a gospel album. And I was like, what? I was just so confused. And, like, you know, he always is able to amaze, and he's always able to bring something new. And that's something I really respect about him in general.
Yeah, I thought it was, I thought, like, the funniest thing was when he talked about, like, the bootleg OnlyFans content in there. That was so funny to me. I just, like, yeah, that was just really funny. Like, obviously there's a side, like you guys saying, like, the wholesome side, but there's always going to be, like, Kanye West being Kanye West, talking about, like, the bootleg album, or, like, people plotting against Kim Kardashian, being a lawyer, like, all that kind of stuff. Like, that's what I kind of think is, like, great about him.
I just found out, like, last week about the Famous music video. I'd never seen it before. Do you know what it is?
Really?
Do you know what it is?
Possibly.
It is like, basically, so
It's basically, like,
yeah.
Lines, right?
Huh?
Blurred Lines. Have you guys seen that music video?
Yeah,
like,
but, like, they're,
basically,
like,
like,
fake. They're, like, right?
Yeah, so it's basically, like, a bunch of wax figures of, like, Kim Kardashian,
Taylor Swift, Ray
J, him,
Clinton, and Bush.
Yeah. Yes, like, it's an obscene video. Like, it is actually, like, really, really weird.
And then, like, you see, it's so crazy, and Rihanna, too. And, like,
Can't forget Rihanna.
that, oh, really? Supposedly, he's at Pakistan. And it's so crazy seeing that. And, like, now, like, how do you even do that? Especially with Taylor Swift and all the beef they've had and all the things he said about her on that album. Like, it's just crazy. And now they're going against each other for Album of the Year. They're two huge contenders. So, like, I'm very interested to see where things lead with that. Go to the end, because then it's like, then you get the wide shot.
Well,
I think what he's done is just insane. The fact that he could get away with half of this stuff, like if he did this now, I think he'd have a different reaction. Also, I would love Kanye to an album of the year. And in Drink Champs, he even mentioned, he's like, don't be the person that puts in for album of the year and ends up beating Kanye for Donda, which I thought was pretty funny. But Taylor Swift's winning that. I don't like her music. I mean, I like some of it, but Kanye ain't winning.
so who do we got in this picture?
You really think that he's not going to win?
I think Taylor Swift is so mainstream. I think more people will gravitate to Taylor over Kanye.
Did she win Album of the Year last year for Evermore?
I'm not sure.
Folklore?
Okay.
If not her, Olivia Rodrigo, which is like...
I mean, like, I don't know. I guess Olivia Rodrigo could win, but, like, I think she might just take Song of the Year and Best New Artist.
Yeah,
and then that'll be done. But, you know, I guess, you know, going in full circle. I'd like to see J. Cole win something. I think he deserves it.
He deserves it more than anyone.
He's nominated in, like, 3 or more categories, I think. I don't think he deserves Best Rap Album, but, like, you know, My Life and Pride is the Devil are 2 great songs, and I think that I'd like to see him go home with something.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I always liked his music.
Yeah. Let's see. The only thing about that is, like, who he's running up against. I feel like just for, like, best rap performance, when you just look at it, obviously you got, like, the female artists who for some reason have a higher likelihood of winning these types of awards. So you got, like, Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. I don't think Cardi B will win. I feel like Megan Thee Stallion, I hope not, but, like, she might.
I feel like that's the song she has nominated for Best Rap Performance pales in comparison to My Life or Family Ties.
Yeah, so that was just the other thing I was gonna say. Like, even if you eliminate those two, Family Ties was just like, it was such like a big thing that Kendrick Lamar was dropping a song again. Like, it was a good song too. I enjoy it. I still listen to it. I just don't really listen to like My Life anymore. Like I did for a few months after it was released. It was a good song. It was very solid. I feel like of these songs that I feel like have like the future potential to like be on people's albums, people still listen to them. I feel like Family Ties is the only one. Way Too Sexy was like a radio hit. Like
I do not understand how people like Way Too Sexy as their favorite song. I'm not personally a huge fan of that album, but it really surprised me that that's people's favorite song.
Yeah, and then like I don't know. Best Friends, obviously you got this two female artists, two young female artists. So that's always got a chance to win no matter what, because just the way that the Academy Awards go now. Obviously you got Kanye. It's hard to beat Kanye in like a best rap song, especially when he's with Jay-Z on this ballot. Like I already talked about Jail, how I didn't think it wasn't even a top 5 Donda song. No. But
what's your number one song off Donda?
I don't think I have a number one. I feel like it changes. Like when it first came out,
I like Hurricane, but I feel like that's like everyone's.
Yeah.
Like...
So when it first came out, I would say like, obviously you had like Off the Grid, Hurricane, like those are immediately people's favorites. Joe was like always up there. It was never like down low. I feel like there's just so many. I feel like there's like in the album itself, there's like 10 to 12 really, really good songs, like album rotation, playlist rotations. Like you could, like they're Kanye West songs.
Yeah.
And then there's a few that like I'll listen to them as I'm listening to the album the first time. I'll listen to them maybe again if I listen to it again. I'm not gonna be adding them to my playlist or anything like that. But I feel like there's like a fine line in his album there. Like there's no songs that are like iffy about. They're either really, really good or like eh.
Yeah. Off the Grid and Jail were both my favorite for like a week, and then I was kind of like, Off the Grid is just too, like, it is too, I don't even know, like with the eagle noises and the echoes and 504's verse, it's like, it is so just, it's like, it's a bit too much. But I really like Believe What I Say in 24. That was some of my favorites. I really like Come to Life right now, and of course, Life of the Party with Andre 3000. I think that's my favorite.
That song.
Really?
I don't know what it was about. It just wasn't my vibe. I also like No Child Left Behind.
Yes.
Where's Remote Control?
Remote Control is great. Heaven and Hell.
Yes.
So when I first started listening to it, kind of similar to Ronin said, when I first started listening to it, it was Hurricane, Jail, Off the Grid, and Moon. Like those are the songs I listened to. I still think Moon, some of those songs are great songs. Then it kind of evolved into like more of the pure souls, like more of like the melodic kind of ones. And then after that, it was like Believe What I Say, No Child Left Behind, and like that. I feel like that's where I'm kind of at now. Like No Child Left Behind, Believe What I Say. I feel like those are like my top songs that I'll listen to like a lot.
Is Pure Souls the one with Travis and Baby Keem?
One with Roddy Ricch.
Which one's the one with Travis and Baby Keem? That one's very underrated.
That is
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
How many songs does it take for an album to be considered good?
How many songs?
Yeah, like in the album.
Well, I've always felt
How
like...
do you feel about that? Like,
Praise God. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, praise God. But I always thought length is a very important thing in an album. Like, within the actual time, like, I think, like, 30 minutes to an hour an hour is, like, the max I'd really, like, listen to an album and keep it in my rotation for a while. But, like, for songs, I don't like when artists release these, like, super... albums with like 14 all right, so like 10 to about like 14 or 16 is a good length, but like I don't like when artists will release these super short albums with like 10 songs with only
that's an EP.
with like with like 2 minutes, like with each of them like 2 minutes or under, but like, you know, you do get a lot, you know, you're always getting like these grandiose longer albums with Kanye, with J. Cole, with Tyler the Creator. But what do you think? What do you guys think is a good number of songs?
Just to kind of like answer his question, like what makes an album good, like I immediately think of like the long end of an album, like something like Donda, for example, that has like a lot of songs. Or then at the other end of the spectrum, there's like an album like Kids See Ghosts, right? That's only like 7 or 8 songs. I think it's 7 songs. And I would consider that a good album. It's not one of Cuddy's or Kanye's best albums by any means. Obviously, it's a collab album, but like I still consider that a good album. Like they're out of the 7, half to maybe 5 of them like are very, very solid, very good songs. So I would consider like good, but I kind of agree with what Ronin said. Like too short is not enough, and then too long is like way too much. It kind of feels like a chore to listen to, and there's never gonna be like the quality is never gonna be there. Like when you get albums that long, the quality on like the final few songs or even the beginning few songs, like wherever it is, the quality is not going to be the same throughout.
I think what's important is the story behind the album, along with I personally think 5 to 6 songs I truly enjoy and could put it into a playlist will make it a good album for me. And I think also the features and who else is on the album, even if they're not singing it, who helped produce it. So
All right, so we are running out of time, but I'd like to pose this question. What are your guys' favorite short album? Like, and by short, I mean like 30 minutes or under.
Repeat that question.
What is your favorite short album? Like 30 minutes or under?
Go to Jack first.
Jack?
All right, so before I answer that question, I just wanted to talk about, so what are considered like 2 of the best albums in rap, right? To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid, Mad City. Both of them are right in Ronin's range. It's like, this is saying an hour and 32, but that's with like the disc 2. But these are like an hour to an hour and 15. They have great storytelling. Like the story behind them, like Julian said, is perfect. Like I feel like that's what really makes these 2 albums really, really great. I feel like you can find the same with a lot of other albums, especially with a lot of Kanye albums, right? But like I feel like these 2 albums are considered so great due to the length, the storytelling, the story behind it. Like all these things kind of add up to it. Now let me go think about your other question. I feel like you have an answer.
Yeah, personally, my favorite short album, it's either Vince Staples' self-titled, which I think is around 20 minutes, or some rap songs by Earl Sweatshirt. It's 15 total songs. Not a single one reaching 2 minutes and 30 seconds. My favorite song, Azukar, is only it isn't even 1:30, and I think it's just like the production on the album is really great, and I think it's just it's one of those things where it doesn't feel like a chore, but it doesn't feel like you're just getting like a tease of something. Julian, what do you think?
Honestly, I don't have one because the more I think about it, I don't really listen to albums. I listen more to mute because in an album there can be different vibes. There could be a country song and a rap song in the same album. I listen to more of I listen more to just like the vibe. Like, if I'm in a chill mood, I'll just look up a chill playlist and then get songs out of that. So I don't really have one. But an album that I've been listening to recently was Adele's 30 album, which I thought was interesting.
Jack, do you have anything?
I guess I would have to go with, I don't, off the top of my head right now, if I like did a little bit more thinking about it, I could probably find maybe another album I was thinking about. But I guess I'd just go with Kids See Ghosts. I feel like that's a pretty safe option. It's like 25 minutes or something, 7 songs. So it's nothing like ridiculous. There's very solid songs in there that I really enjoy. Reborn, Fourth Dimension, just to name 2. But
Cuddy Montage.
Cuddy Montage. I guess that would have to be my favorite. I would definitely say Fourth Dimension, which I guess is a hot take because a lot of people would say Reborn, which I think is a great song as well.
It's like a go-to.
Yeah. But I would say my favorite personally on it would be Fourth Dimension. But yeah, I guess that kind of answers your question there. And I was just looking back on like some of Kid Cudi's albums. Most Popular, Man on the Moon, the first one obviously, and Man on the Moon 2 are my opinion his best 2 albums. And just like same range, like an hour and 9 minutes, an hour and 2 minutes, something like that. And I feel like that's just perfect.
Yeah. All right. So that brings us to the end of the podcast. We just about ran out of time. Anything you'd like to say to the people, Julian?
I got a bowling match today. We play against Montville. They're first in the state. We're probably going to lose, but yeah, I'm excited.
Anything to advertise?
Yeah, Kicks with Jay. Follow me on Instagram.
Jack?
Follow Kicks with Jay.
Follow Kicks with Jay. Bye, everyone.